What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And we got a big trip coming up and not a lot of time to get ready for it. A lot of stuff's been going on this past week and a half between just life and work and obviously trying to work on motorcycles. Time has slipped by, and when you see this video, we were heading out the next day. First stop being Dream Rides in Tennessee, and then throughout that trip, we're going to be making some other stops. I've talked to a few of you guys on Instagram, kind of showed you our map. We're going to be going through Washington, D.C. We're going to be going into New York City. We're going to be going to New Haven, Connecticut again to see our boy Ashley and all those guys. We're going to be heading up towards Boston or just north of Boston to see John and, loop it back towards the jam and then back home. So we got to get these motorcycles ready, which brings me to this great point. Not only does Thundermax make great tuning modules that get more performance out of your bike, but they actually came out with a fan a couple years back for the M8 Touring models that's just a direct plug and play kit. This fan's nice, sleek, slim, it fits down, and it does actually work. The factory already has a harness down there that you can plug their oil cooler fan directly into that plug. If you have a Thundermax tuner, you can go ahead and select fan, and then the fan will work as advertised. If you do not, you can go to your local Harley-Davidson dealership and they can flash your factory ECM. So it keeps the oil temps down. You're stuck in traffic or you're riding through the desert, whatever your case may be, it's just gonna make touring on your motorcycle a lot more bearable. And you don't have those big ugly fans that I'm sure some of you guys have seen on the side of your bikes. And if you have a big ugly fan on the side of your bike, let's switch it out. Let's get the Thundermax unit, let's hook it up, let's do it right, make it look good. You'll be happy you did. So thank you, Thundermax. Thanks for all you guys do for the channel. Now let's get back to these FXRs. There's a few things I need to do to this bike. So in this video, what I want to do is I want to go over some of the things that I do to prepare for a trip. And we got some parts that we need to put on this motorcycle. But first, Justin has been working on his bike. He's gotten a few things taken care of on it. He's created and fabricated a few parts to make his journey on his bike a lot easier. And he recorded a few little clips for us on his cell phone. So I'm just going to drop those clips in here in a second. Hats off to Justin. He's super creative when it comes to this kind of stuff. I think the system together, it looks a little odd when there's no luggage on the bike, but obviously you guys are going to see it firsthand on the next video after this with all the luggage and everything loaded down and how the bike actually functions and his kind of thought process behind why he created what he did. So the trip that we have routed right now is somewhere in the 36 to 3,800 mile range. I have all the faith in the world that this bike will make it, but you never know. So we're gonna go through it. We're gonna make sure everything's good to go. Give it a perfect, what do they call it? Bill of health. And yeah, let's watch Justin work on his bike and let's get back on this thing.
All right, what's up? So I'm doing a couple of updates or just really getting ready for the trip to New York. The main thing is it was leaking primary oil from the inner primary where I cut the spud off for the chain. So when you lift these up with the M8s, that spud that comes off the inner primary, the chain will sit there and ride on it. I had a bolt in it, came loose, so I'm doing a button head from the outside in with a nut on it with a lot of red Loctite, so hopefully that will work. Also, I went back to factory style bagger motor mounts, like the rubber isolators. I had some aftermarket ones, but the rubber was like too soft and I feel like it made the motor move too much. So these are a little bit more rigid, went back to those. Here's that bolt that I cut the spud off the back. So on this one, I did a button head from the back in for clearance for the chain with a ton of red Loctite. So hopefully I don't have an issue again, but you never know. It gave me hell in California and I JB welded on the back and it got me through it. But it actually, the chain rubbed it through and it started leaking again. So I think the button head is going to be most clearance and all sandwiched together. So hopefully that's good. I tried to get that gauge to work. I did everything the way they said do it with the standalone kit. I still can't get it to work, so I'm just going to let it be on that thing. And then the next, I got to tighten up my stem. And then I think that's about it, minus I'm making a rack. And I think I might run that clear windshield, maybe. But I have to make some mounts for it as well. All right, I got this torqued down to 145 foot-pounds. Got the starter and everything bolted back together. Now we're about to put the rest of the stuff in for the clutch and outer primary, fill it with oil, and just keep working around this thing. I don't know if I showed you this before, but this is kind of like my little backup light. This light works decent to get in front of me, but this light like gets me down the road pretty good. So just chugging along, getting everything ready to go. Here's the peg, super small. I'm gonna come drill and tap the bottom of these and then come out with like another little half round piece with a couple of set screws on there for grip, and it'll give me like more platform width wise. That'll be a lot better. And I need to put some shims or something in the kickstand. Even with it super tight, it's real floppy. So I think I'm gonna put like some little plastic washers or something in there to keep it stiff. Alright, it's been a couple days since I was talking about the pegs and the rack and stuff. I still have to make the brackets for the windshield. But here are the peg extensions, and then when around town I'll probably unbolt them, but it gives me extra grip and a little bit more platform. This one's not bolted in yet down here, but these pieces will stay on here. You unscrew the two knobs, and then you can put the knobs in these holes, and then the rack, luggage, bag, license plate, everything like goes in the hotel with you. And then you run around town and you don't have to have all the luggage and all that stuff. But it's kind of ugly in my opinion, but it's gonna do the job. I just didn't want to run saddlebags, and I can run a pretty good sized bag on the back of that. That's a little update, and then we'll see y'all on the trip later.
You just saw Justin work on his bike. It gives you kind of an idea of what his thought process was for some of the parts that he created and some of the things that he did different to his bike. If you've ever seen it in person, some of the things that were different from the bike this go around to help assist with this trip. What I need to do is I need to do similar, kind of, sort of the same thing. I got a luggage rack for this bike. I'm getting rid of the saddlebags. I'm done with saddlebags. I've never been a saddlebag guy, A, and B, without a fairing, I think the RP bags were just too much. If this thing had a nice set of Leather Pros or actually genuine convertible bags, I'd probably be pretty stoked on the saddlebag look, but the RP bags were just too big, too bulky, and just not my thing. So, and I'm in no financial spot to get a fairing painted to match and, you know, all that sort of stuff. So I just don't want to do the bags anymore. And I don't know if we can see it, but way up there in the top corner of the garage, where my saddlebags used to sit, is the Saddlemen, man, I don't remember the name of that bag. It's a tactical bag, but it actually goes kind of across your back seat, and it has like a little bit of drop down. So it holds quite a bit of stuff. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna install a genuine Harley Davidson rear luggage rack to the back of the bike. And then I'll be able to put another waterproof bag back there. So it should be able to hold all my rain gear, extra shoes and everything in the small bag. And then that bag should be able to hold all my clothes, the laptop, because I am going to try to film a video for you guys and drop it while we're on the road. So what we're gonna do is, this was Chrome Sport Luggage Pack for, you can barely see it, but it says will fit, I think that says 83 through 03 Sportsters and 82 through 94 FXR models. I can't tell what that is, something about the Dynas. This is the kit that you'll see a lot of guys run. There's actually a nickname for this, and it's called the 6-pack rack. So basically this is it. This little piece of chrome is gonna hang off the back of my sissy bar. Usually when you find these things online used, I don't know, $100 to 150. I found a brand new in the box. The instructions, which unfortunately I don't ever use instructions, but still have the instructions. Hardware, nice chrome hardware, still in its sealed bag for less than $100. So got a smoking deal on this. I'm super happy about it. So we're gonna bolt this thing on real quick, show you guys what it takes to do that, and then just kind of show you some other things that I need to do to the motorcycle beforehand, just to get it ready for the trip. So let me get you guys set up. We're gonna start pulling the bolts out for the side of the sissy bar and get this thing mounted. Now, like I said, installing this is super simple. You do obviously have to have a sissy bar already on your motorcycle. So this bike does have side plates. This is called their mini backrest. There's actually 2 different backrest heights when you see the shorter ones. I have the other one that I could show you, but there's a short, which is probably about this tall. It's a little wider. Same, you know, slim kind of pad, and then this one's called the mini. I don't ride passenger, so I don't need it to actually hold anybody. All I need it to do is when my luggage is here, my luggage not to go any further back than I want it to go. So you start off by just removing your 4 screws on the side. So the 4 little Allen screws right here. So next step, what you're going to do is you're going to take these side plates. I know this is called side plate, but they're also calling this luggage rack side plate a side plate. And this is just going to go on the back side of your sissy bar. So it's going to sit in there like this, and then it's going to come supplied with these longer Allens, but they're going to go all the way through into the side plate. However, the side plate is not threaded. So it's just going to come all the way through. And then what you're going to have to do is take this supplied lock-in, it's kind of like a nylon lock-in nut, and you're going to put it on the back side. You're not going to tighten it down just yet. What I want to do is I want to get everything kind of in place, make sure it's nice and leveled, and then I'm going to tighten it up. I don't know if it's in the instructions. Like I said, I'm not reading the instructions because I'm a man, but that's what I want to do. The reason I don't want to just tighten everything and go all crazy with it is you see how much play that this can go? It can go up and down a little bit. So I'm going to try to, I want to get a little level on here. I want to see how level my stuff is, where exactly these need to be, because I want the thing to look nice from behind. If you're putting this on when it's on the kickstand, you might think it's nice and straight, but when someone's riding behind you, this thing's all crooked. Same thing with like license plate mounts. I see it a lot where, you know, they're a little sideways, or a tail light. When you mount these tail lights back on, they just look a little odd. So I try to make everything as level as I can. So let's see if I can get my level and see what we can do on this. On the license plate mount, the bike looks like it might be just leaning to the left, like possibly a degree or so. So when I'm up here, look how far off that is. That thing went all the way over. Actually, if I just pick both these up all the way, it's about the same that this was. Because if I just bolt it on like this, if I let both these things just fall, it's way off. But if I pick both these ends up, for some reason this hole must be a little larger on this side that's giving it more movement. But pick both of them all the way up and this thing is actually about right where it needs to be. I can almost let this one down just a little. So let me tighten this one up first, and then we're gonna tighten this one to the plate. Thing here, and pick it up until it looks exactly the same as my license plate. Right about there. Yeah, it looks good. All right, same thing. Let me tighten up the other side, and then I'll get back to putting the actual top on. Luggage rack is on. I don't have a lot of places to hook off on. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed my little eyelets that I have on my license plate. That's kind of securing this pretty good, but now I got to figure out how to get the bag. And the biggest hurdle with trying to get this bag to actually secure on here is you got to be able to get the rain cover on. So this rain cover actually, it doesn't snap on anywhere. It just goes around it and then you kind of pull it tight. So I can't have a bunch of straps coming from here out to here and here out to there or wherever, because that cover's got to go on. Something I'm gonna have to play with off camera. I need to get this bag loaded up with all my stuff that I'm gonna have, and then I can start figuring out something to go underneath to kind of tie everything off. So there's the luggage rack on. Not 100% stoked on this rack with the mini backrest. I feel like it needs the short. I feel like I should put the short on there, just be a little taller, maybe look a little better. Just deal with it, we'll see what happens. I've added a few other little pieces. Put this little piece of chrome on here. I had just the stock one on there. Added this chrome coil cover that I picked up off of Oliver, the cut right there on Instagram. And other than that, I think the big takeaways, anytime you're gonna go on a road trip, a few things. Check your battery. I've had to recently replace this battery. It only hold about a, I don't know, 4 or 5 day charge, and then after about the 5th day, if I go to try to start it, then I haven't ridden it or whatever, it just wouldn't start. So it's got a fresh battery in it before the trip. Check your tires. Not just the tire tread, but also the air pressure. Make sure your air pressure is good, front and rear. While you're looking at your tire pressure or your tires, check your brakes. Make sure your brake pads are good. This bike, obviously, replaced everything when I rebuilt the bike, so I know the brakes are good. Fluids. Make sure all your fluids are good. Oil change if you need to. Know your mileage. I know I'm going 30-something hundred miles on this thing, so I need to make sure my fluids are good for at least over 3,000 miles. And just do a quick nut and bolt on everything. Make sure, you know, your axles are tight, your brake caliper bolts are tight, foot pegs, you know, air cleaner, carburetor. Just go through the bike. Anything that you would think might need to have a little wrench on it, put a quick wrench on there, make sure it's all good to go. As far as the trip itself goes, I always pack tools, so I have your common wrenches, Allens, set of pliers, a roll of electric tape, a few zip ties, and then a couple of nuts and bolts, common quarter 20s, and things that you could possibly vibrate, lose on the trip. I make sure I bring my rain gear. I make sure I bring extra shoes. I can't stand walking around in wet feet. I have the booties for the rain gear that's supposed to keep your feet dry, but it doesn't always work. So I always bring a second pair of shoes. Always bring swim trunks. You don't know if you're gonna pull off on the side of the road and find a river somewhere, or if your hotel is gonna have a pool or a hot tub or whatever. Always bring swim trunks and hats. I bring plenty of hats because I always seem to lose one or two on the road. Just my luck, just always how it goes. But aside from that, I am sweating. It is hot in here. Yeah, that's it. That's kind of just a really quick, down and dirty things to just remind you about any trip. You ride the bike, you know it better than anyone. If you're unsure of it, always take it to a dealership or to a shop. Let them go through it, kind of do a, whatever they call it now, a 233 point inspection. Let them go through the bike one end to the other, see if there is anything that it needs. I know from the last time I did the tires that the bearings are good, but if you have a seal bearing bike and it's got, I don't know, 20, 30,000 miles on the bearings and you're getting ready to do another big ride, it wouldn't hurt to go ahead and maybe put a set of wheel bearings in it, because there's nothing worse than being stranded with something like a wheel bearing going out. And when a wheel bearing goes out, it can actually ruin the entire wheel. So little things to kind of put in your head to just be cautious of. Nobody wants to just waste money on parts like that, but when you're on a trip, there's nothing better than that peace of mind of knowing you're not going to be stuck stranded because of tow bill, roadside assistance, you know, paying for the parts on the road. Like I said, a wheel, if a wheel gets damaged, being out a wheel, way more costly than just doing a set of bearings while you're at home. But we're going to get ready to hit the road. We are leaving out Saturday morning, super early. We're hoping to be at John's shop probably around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you guys are in the area, John Jessup's shop, Maryville, Tennessee, Dream Rides, Tennessee, be there. 4-year anniversary. Jesse, Coley, all the guys. I think Jeff Holt's going to be there. Of course, me and Justin and a slew of other badass, really cool down-to-earth guys are going to be there. And then we're hitting the road, man. We will be getting back on the bad boy. We're going to get this thing finished up. Parts are at powder, so hopefully the parts when they come back are good to go. We can get this thing dialed in motor painted, everything done on that. Like I said, I got Jetty's bike. We're gonna do kind of like a little walkthrough with that bike when we finish it. There's a frame over there ready for a twin cam transplant. So we got a lot of videos coming up this summer. I just want to thank you guys again for watching, commenting, you know, sharing. You guys are awesome. You're motivating me to keep doing what I'm doing. You're motivating me to do more do better quality videos. However I'm supposed to be saying it. I don't know. I'm hot. I'm delirious. It's late. I'm ready to eat dinner and get this video out to you guys. So thank you again, and we'll see you down the road. Peace.